Hello, welcome everyone to this session today, which whereby we're going to look at how we can take advantage of the latest Wildfly fashion in the latest release of Wildfly, and how best we can be able to configure the different data drivers for connectivity to the databases. That is, we're going to consider looking at MySQL, Postgre, Oracle, Jdbc drivers, and at the same time, we can end up creating different data sources. And in the future tutorials, we'll be looking at how we can be able to configure application in order for us to be able to deploy it in Wildfly. And with that, we can get started. So the first requirement is that we need to have Java 8 and above installed in our system. So keep note that you should be able to have Java installed. So currently with my version, I'm using Java 11, the latest Java 11.09, and that is what I'm going to use for this tutorial. In any case, it should be able to work the same as Java 8 and above. So the Wildfly is an improved version of Jdbc, and Jdbc, the latest release was Jdbc 7, and we moved to Wildfly. So currently we are at Wildfly 24.01, which is the final release as of the moment, the time of recording this tutorial. So the next thing we do is we need to download the Wildfly, and then so that we can be able to. So we head out to the resource, that is wildfly.org/downloads, and then you can head over and click the download link. So once you click this download link, it's going to download your version to the current download folder. And then so for me, I've already downloaded this one, so we are going to get started because of time. So I'm having my Wildfly final at this point. So once you download it, I've actually copied from the download folder to this folder. So once you download it, then you can head over and extract at this point. So it just take a few seconds, and once that is downloaded, you can go to the folder now, the extracted folder, and then on the bin directory, you can now click standalone, this file, standalone.bat. So what I'm going to do is just click that one, and then so it open the terminal, that is the console for Wildfly. So as you can see, now it has been able to set my current, to be able to use my Java home is set to Java 11, and that is what I'm using for this. So once you click that one, it will be able to set the Jdbc home, which is the current folder, and then proceed to starting up the server. So it will start the server in the default address, that is 127.80.80, and also the administrator will be on 127.00, and then 99.0, that is the management port. So we can now head over to this address that the HTTP port is listening to. That is this is the default one, which is the HTTP. So in case you want HTTPS, then you need to configure the default HTTP listener. So with this, we can head over to the tab here and then open localhost, and then that is at port 8080. So once we click that one, you can see that we get our Wildfly running, and then we can proceed to go to the administration console. So you can be able to find the useful links here, that is the documentation for Wildfly, and some quick starts, and also the Wildfly project, and you can also get to the user forum and also be able to have links for reporting an issue in case you experience an issue in Wildfly. So with this, I'm heading to the administrator console. So the first thing, once right now we don't have any user, so that is why we are getting this error saying that your Wildfly application server is running. If that is okay, and however, you have not added any users to be able to access the admin console. So we need to execute a certain file that will allow us to be able to create a user who will be able now to access this management console. So with that, we can go to the folder again, and then now click the file known as add user. So this is the first user. For Linux users, you'll be able to use the add user, which is the shell script, this one. But for Windows users and most of the Linux system, you should be able to use the shell script. And for Windows users, you should know that the type will be the Windows patch file. So with that, you can click that one, and then we get to open the console. So it prompts you to create a new user. Now, as you can see, what type of user do you wish to add? So with this, I'm going to add a management user so that I can be able to access the administrator console. So I'm going to select option A and then press enter, and then the username that I'm going to use, by default, we should be going to the management realm, which is a grouping of the different users who can be able to access the main console. So with that, I select the username. I'm just going to put my username there, and then press enter. And then the password now, it prompts us to enter the password, which should be contain at least 8 characters and also alphanumeric characters and 1 digit and alphanumeric symbols. So I'm going to enter my strong password here. And again, it prompts me to re-enter the same. So once I have entered the password and it's correct, then I can proceed to what groups do you want this user to be done. For now, we don't have any groups, so we'll be looking at the in future tutorials about what are the groups in Wildfly. So I just press enter, and then it prompts you whether this is the correct way. I'm adding the user this one to the management realm, so I just say yes. So once I select that one, then you can see that it has added the management users to the configuration. That is management user properties, and it has done what? On the domain also it has, on the domain, that is the standalone and the domain, it has added the same user to the management users property. And then also it has updated the standalone configuration groups with the current groups that I selected. But right now we don't have any groups. So there is another prompt here. Is this new user going to be used as a AC process to connect to another AC process? That is, can this user be able to communicate to on any while using the domain application of this Wildfly? Can I be able to can this user be able to connect to other instances of the same Wildfly? So you can select that one too. Yes. Then once you select that one, you press enter. And then that is done. That is done. So if we go back and the browser, and then now again we go back and then access the management realm, that is 1990. So you can just remove that one and then press enter. Again, you can see now we don't have that error. Right now I'm going to enter my username. So and then I enter my password. So once that is done, then now we are good. Our Wi-Fi is up and running, and now we can be able to do some configuration. So this is the home page. We can be able to do deployments, can do different configuration with different system properties, and then parts that we want to use, socket binding that we want our standalone XML to bind to. Then we can configure that one within this interface. And then the interfaces that are available, that is the management and public, and also the subsystems, which will be highlighting in the future tutorials about why we considering looking at a sample application and how it can be able to be deployed on this Wildfly instance. So without much further ado, we can proceed to adding our Jdbc driver, which is the main agenda of this session. So to add, we start with adding MySQL. So we head over to Maven repository. So once we add that, and then we search MySQL connector. So you search MySQL connector and you click the first link. So with this first link, we are going to use the latest version of the jar. So you select the first link here. And thus the time of recording this tutorial is 8.026. So I'm going to click that one. And because we are not going to use the Gradle in Wildfly, so we are going to use a jar file. So you come on the files section, and then you click jar file. So you download that one. I put them there. So if we head over to the Wildfly console again, and we go to the subsystem, and then we select data sources, and then you click Jdbc drivers, you can be able to see that by default Wildfly comes H2 database driver. So it states us that to install additional Jdbc drivers, we need to create something known as module.xml under the main folder on the Wildfly modules. So we are going to keep this one also, and then we head over to our configuration. So I'm going to open that one again. On the server, already I have the jar file here. So I head over to the Wildfly standalone, and then I select modules, and then I go in further, system, layers, and then base. And then from there, we know MySQL is coming from com. So we select the folder com. And then once you are in there, you can see that we have H2, we have Microsoft, we have Square App, and Google, GitHub, Fast, and the other dependencies, our modules that are being loaded by Wildfly. So with this, we can proceed forward and then create a new folder here and call it MySQL. So once you have created that one, that is a folder, and then you create another folder inside. Once you have switched to MySQL, you create another folder and call it main. And with this, we are good to go. So I'm going to copy this path that we are going to create a new file. So first of all is that we need to copy the jar file to this folder. So I just copy this one, and then I'm just going to cut it and then go down further to modules, system, layers, base, and then I select com, and then MySQL, and then main, and then I paste it there. All right, so we proceed. Now we have our jar file in the main folder, and then the next thing we need to do is to create a module.xml file. XML file is just a dependency structure which will be showcasing, which will be showing how our application will be used. So I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create a new file here, and then let me drag this one here. So with this one, I'm going to select language and say it's going to be XML. So with this one, I know it's not there for you, but with the extensions, I select that one. So it's going to be module.xml. So the next thing we need to do is that I have already the file here. So I need to take this one, specify that this file is an XML. All right. And then the next thing is to copy. Let me just copy all this one and then put it here. Right. So I'm going to share this one in the video description below. And then, so with this one, what we need to change is the location of the jar file and also the module name. So the module name here for this one, we are going to call this one com.mysql. That is the folder. It should be able to conform with the directory listing that we were looking at earlier. That is com.mysql. And then from there, we don't consider looking at this. The Wildfly will be able to read the main folder and then be able to get this jar file. So with that, MySQL, that is the module name. And then with the resource directory, the resource root, we need to specify our location of the jar file. So I'm going to right click this one and then click rename and then copy that one. Then that is the one that I replace at this point. So once I have that one, so and then there is this dependency module that needs to be loaded for this jar file for the MySQL connector, which is the Java API and the Java transaction API. And these are very much the same for all the modules that we are going to consider looking at. So what I need to do is just click save, and then now proceed to. So I'm going to proceed to the location of my Wildfly instance. So I'm just going to go to Workspace, then Servers, then Wildfly Final, and then Modules. So it's under Modules, then System, Layers, Base, and then Com, MySQL, and then Main. And then I save it as Module. And then once I click that one, I click save. So you can see that now this file is under the Wildfly. So I'm going just to close the other one, and then that is all we need to configure in the module.xml. So you just save that one, and then now I can head over to the Wildfly server. Then I refresh it again. You can see I've added the module.xml, but you can't get the listing of MySQL module here. So the next thing I'm going to do is just click the add button here, then click add, and then the module name is going to be MySQL. And then the driver name is going to be com.mysql. And then the driver class name is going to be com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Once you have that, and then you click add. And now you can see now that you have been able to add MySQL successfully to the interface. So the next thing is that we can be able to refresh this one, and then you can be able to see after even refresh, we have the module there. Then the next thing we're going to do to consider looking at is the Oracle Jdbc. So to go, then I search that one. You can see now I'm going into Oracle Jdbc driver. Then once I click that one, I can have this artifact. Now I'm saying that it has been moved to Jdbc 10. So you can click that one and then select my database version is 19.30. Then once you select that one, then I can be able to click on the files and then click jar, the jar file. So once I download that one, you can see that now I'm having Jdbc 19.3.0. So once that one is downloaded, and also we need to get the one for Postgre. So we select PostgreSQL, and then so we select that one, and then the first link here is the Jdbc driver, PostgreSQL Jdbc driver. So I'm going to select this one, 42.2.3. Then I select the jar file. So once those are downloaded, and then I just click it. Then the same case applies to the same. So I just need to copy all this, copy them, and then put it in our folder here. So our folder here is going to be our folder under modules. So I'm just going to put them at this point on the server. So I'm just going to paste them here from the download. So the next thing to configure Postgre, we can start with Postgre. Need to go to Postgre is coming from org. So I go to modules, system, layers, base, and then I go and click on org, right? So with this, I create a new folder known as PostgreSQL. All right, I save, I go inside that, and then I create another folder known as module, known as main, right? Then, so I can go ahead over again to the server's location, and then I copy the PostgreSQL and Jdbc. Then I go back, and then within the main folder of Postgre, you can see the link up here, and then I paste my file there. So the next thing is I'm going to use the same logic here, and then I just copy this one. Then I can say file, save as, can go to save as, then go to paste, and then org, then select for PostgreSQL, then main, and then I say I save. So once I have that one saved there, then I can just change the name, which is going to be com.postgresql. And then with this one, I need to get the right jar file, the jar name for this one, which is going to be, right click this one, rename, copy that one, and then put it here. It's going to be work. Sorry for that. Save that one, and then now head over again, and then click add. It's going to be PostgreSQL, and then the module name is going to be org.postgresql. And then with the driver class name is going to be org.postgresql.driver. Right? So you just click that one last time. Then now you see you have our module. is org.postgre.driver. If I refresh again, I'll be able to see that I'm having all my drivers here. So the last one I'm going to do is for Oracle. Oracle is coming from com, so I'm going to take this one, or Jdbc 1019, this one. So this is the one I'm going to use for Oracle. So I'm going to configure the same. Go to the folder under modules, then I go to the base, and then I select com, and then I create a new folder known as Oracle, right? And then within that folder, I just create a new folder, call it main, right? Then within that one, I create a module.xml. So I need to bring up this file from here, then copy it, and then go back to where I was, and then paste it there, right? So you can see that under this one, com Oracle main, we copy our jar file. The same case is that we head over here, and then we just click file dot save as, then we select base, then we go to com, and then Oracle, and then main, and then we click save. So we need to change a few things here. We need to specify this is going to be com, then Oracle, right? And then with that one, we need to specify the jar name, which is going to be this one. So I just right click this one, and then rename, then I copy the name. So with that, once I have that, then I can just come here and replace that one. So our module.xml and jar file are set. So we can head over to the console and configure our Oracle driver. So we head over here and then click add again, and then this one is be Oracle. That is the unique name for this module. And then we specify the module name. This is going to be com.oracle, right? Then once you have run, we specify the driver class name that we are going to use, which is going to be oracle.jdbc dot driver dot oracle driver, right? And then we click add. You can see now we have been able to add all the drivers successfully. So the next tutorial we'll be looking at how do we create data sources for Wildfly, and then we can be able to use them within our application. Thank you guys, and please subscribe so that you'll be able to get notification once I upload the new tutorials. Thank you. Bye.